on.
I totally agree with your views. I feel like art must certainly play a major role in any kind of movement, especially these kind of movement that we have here in Kenya right now, because it is a very unique kind of movement. I don't think in the history of protests and we've never seen this kind of movement before, because it is just very purely organic and stemming from all sections of the country. So it's not centered on anyone. So I would like, before I briefly proceed, to thank the previous speakers. I think the words that we've had here have struck a very deep chord within us all. I feel like those words were speaking to each and every one of us who is part of this movement, because we are at a very critical stage. We have seen so many things happening in the last few weeks. We've had some very high moments in the movement. And when I say the movement, I call it the movement because when you call them protests, protests can be about a thing. Protests can be about something, But this movement, it's bigger than the protests, because it's not even about the youth that have been on the streets. I feel like the message has transcended throughout every young Kenyan, no matter what part of the country you're in. It's a movement that is spread across counties. We saw people showing up and speaking out in all parts of the country. So it's not moved by tribe. It's not moved by social class. I don't want to get too much into that. So for now, I will agree. Art is going to play a major role in this movement. Like we saw today, the concert was a very nice example of how art can play a very major role in any kind of movement, because we have to bring out our creative side, because that is what they try to suppress first, because they have to suppress your creative side. They have to suppress the things that make you who you are. So, but the point is, we are at a very critical stage of the movement, because we've seen the state trying to instigate malls into the movement. We've seen many things happening. So right now, the truth, so much is going on. It might be a bit confusing for some of us. The information overload might be getting to us a bit, but you have to stay focused, because in every movement, there's always going to be pushback from whoever you're demanding accountability from. In this case, we're demanding accountability from the state. Not for one thing. We are demanding accountability for many things. And so the situation has become so complicated that it's the view of the majority of Kenyans that, yes, we do have so many problems, and at this stage, the only way to fix it, the only solution right now is to start afresh. We need like a complete turnover of everything. So you cannot try to shift the ideas of the movement or try to bring side shows into the movement. So we saw recently what happened. I'm going to try and get a bit straight to the point, because I know the majority of people on this space, they are social media users. We had Billy speak some moments earlier, very esteemed journalist, a man we all know him very well. But this movement cannot be pinned down into one thing or one leader or one other thing. But Billy made a very interesting point. He noted that some people are getting paid to go and cause chaos in this protest. I want to assure Billy that this movement started on social media. And I'm sure the people who are on this, tuned into this space right now, none of them would even have the time to get out there, unless if there are more planted here to listen. That's a different case. But the people here, I'm sure the people here, they were part of this movement from the beginning. So there are people who are 100% true and true to the movement. So you made a good point. Yes, it's unfortunate that some people will accept petty cash from the state to push agendas. But the main point here is we have to stay focused. So we saw the state will always try to infiltrate any movement against them, as we've seen time immemorial in Kenya. If you follow this account, you've seen today a video we posted today about the anti-government movement in the 90s. So we saw people like Koigi or Amwere getting arrested on trumped-up charges. We saw the state clamping down really hard on any kind of dissent. So that will always happen. In this case, the movement started on social media. The movement was online. So definitely the main target will be the main social media figures. So that's where it started. So we saw recently, some guys are saying, oh, some people in the movement have betrayed us. I will not mention names, but just to be clear, we have to stay focused. So this will always happen, and do not put too much, do not let your heart be demotivated. Do not put too much thought into these things. They will always happen. But the good thing with this movement is, no matter what comes at us, no matter how many diversions they try to create within us, it's decentralized. So we will always find a way to move forward. So
thank you very much.
Yeah, just to be clear. So guys, do not that the main point of the movement is to stay focused, and we try to find a way forward, which we will eventually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.